hot, isn't it? Is it hot where you are? How's it all going, ladies and gents? Oh, I can see there's quite a good amount of conversation going on already in the chat. So how's everyone been? Obviously I will give some sort of explanation as to why I've been MIA for so many weeks. There's been a lot of stuff going on. One of them being this heat wave here in the southwest. Now us Devonshire dumplings down in the UK are not used to experiencing these sorts of temperatures. So yeah, it's pretty mad at the moment. I think today hit 31 degrees here in Devon. Hottest day of the year, I believe it was today. So it's been absolute carnage. Mike Buzz. Let's have a look, see what we got going on here. Let's see. Is that any better? Turn the volume down a little bit. Give it a whack. It's on the laptop, so there's nothing to whack, I'm afraid. I don't think it's... No, it's not coming through the camera tonight. Any better? How bad are we talking? I'll tell you what, I'll go old school. I'll plug in my headphones with they've got a microphone on them. Sort this out, just give me a sec. Oh, God, it's hot. Alright, I'm working on it. We'll do these headphones. Why don't you guys just talk amongst yourself for a sec. Okay. Hopefully. Let's see. Is that any better? Can people hear me a bit better now? Any better? Microphone, earpiece. Bit of a delay, so I'm waiting for you guys to let me know. My word, it's hot. It is so warm, and it's like 7:30 at night. So warm. Are we good? Someone just leave a little comment. Is the microphone better? Is the quality better? Oh. How's it going, Robin? Brilliant, much better. Awesome. Oh. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Tonight we've got Willow, Rodrigo, how's it going, man? Motorloon, good to see you. Dave Deb, good to see you, brother. Disco, how's it going, my friend? Robin, Futureless. Loads of you in already tonight, fantastic. Right, so, seeing as you are all pretty much here, I know there's a few that aren't, but I think low volume but better. All right, I can turn up the volume, that's no problem. What about that? That should increase the volume. I guess you guys deserve somewhat of an explanation as to why the channel effectively went stone cold overnight about 3.5-4 weeks ago. Nothing dramatic happened. A bunch of you, and it wasn't just me that you were messaging. Some of you were messaging Rob as well, asking if I was okay, asking if everything was all right. I even had one guy on Instagram ask if I had sold the bike. No, it's here, I promise. I will never sell this bike unless I'm in complete dire straits, which hopefully I never will be. Everything is absolutely fine. I put a little message up on Facebook earlier in the week just to let some of you know, because I think I had maybe 6 different people sending me messages asking if I was all right. I'm absolutely fine. I decided that myself and Mrs. Hagar, we hadn't had any time off from life for best part of 9 months, nearly 10 months. We run a very small independent business, and when you're self-employed or run a small limited company, you end up dedicating all your time to that business and you forget that there's a life outside of work. And so we took a break and we went away for a week. We chilled. I worked on the workshop. You're going to see a slightly different arrangement here in the workshop when the videos start pumping out again. We've put up a false wall at the bottom, which if you've been following, you'll know I've been planning on doing that for a while. That's finally up. New bike jack, etc. New work desk area. And I'm just trying to get some sort of upgrade going on here within the workshop. So there's been a few things going on, but ultimately I've just needed some time away from work, the channel, and I needed to spend time with Mrs. Hagar, who now will become Mrs. Hagar, because while we were away, I did in fact propose. So if you didn't know, we weren't married, but we are now planning on getting married. So it's been a very exciting 3 or 4 weeks, and I've just wanted to kind of enjoy it and not worry about being here, the bike and work, etc., etc., etc. So that's what's been going on. So everything's good though. Everything is absolutely good. So looking forward to getting really stuck into the channel again now that we effectively have a YouTube studio as well as a workshop set up. I'm very fortunate. My line of work includes working with lighting and cameras, so I have a lot of the big equipment that a lot of YouTubers don't have when they first start out. So all I've done now is kind of compile all of my kit and put up the separating wall, the lighting, etc., the laptops, the cameras, and just trying to make it easier to work in, you know, laying on my back, working on the bottom of the Suzuki. Things like putting, you know, the footboard plate back in to onto the frame by yourself is so difficult, especially on the back. And having it now where it's up here, I'll be able to work on that so much easier. I won't have to worry about making adjustments to the bike as nearly as much as I was, because, you know, I can do it properly. So yeah, that's effectively the catch up, ladies and gents. I do apologize that I just disappeared for a long time, but I am back. It's stupid hot here in the UK at the moment. It's really hot here in the workshop. I'm gonna have to get some sort of ventilation fan, something. In the UK, we're not really big on aircon because 360 days of the year it's raining. So we don't really invest in aircon in our properties or our houses as a whole. So yes, right, that's done. Swig of me beer. And let's see what you guys have been talking about. Jamie, how's it going, man? Let's see if anyone else has joined in. Conto, good to see you. Let's go straight in with some questions then. Disco asks, he says, I've just got my hands on one Dynatech 3000 bug, not installed yet. Have you done any other mods to complement the new ECU? I haven't got a new ECU, Disco. Not yet, I haven't. I haven't installed a Dynatech 3000. You might be thinking about somebody maybe on one of the forums, but it's definitely not me. It is something that I've considered doing, but it's one of those, I've not had, touch wood, I've yet to have an issue with the ECU as a whole, so I'm not going to upgrade it or fix it unless the bike calls for it. If it starts failing, then of course I would upgrade it. If I did so many other mods to the engine, to the fuel system, to the air system, that maybe I thought that a new Dynatech would even make things even better, then sure, I would do it. And if I ever did get a Dynatech 3000, I would of course do an unboxing and an install video, etc. We are going to start getting a little bit more regimented with the types of videos as well. There's only about 3 videos left on the rebuild for the bike. And for those of you that have been asking, seeing as there's only a select few of you, my viewers, my audience in the live stream tonight, I will tell you that the bike does run, and while it's not ready for a big journey, it does run. I still need to tune things up. There is a carb sync video on the way. There's pod filter install video on the way. I keep talking about that. I've been speaking with Sigma 6 in the States, and I have a jet kit on the way, paid for with my own money, but they are very interested in seeing the video, and hopefully in the future we can work together, but they are aware that the video is going to be happening, so we shall see. Once those jets turn up, there will be a full pod jet system video going up as well. So let's see what else is going on in the chat. Thank you very much, Rodrigo, for the congratulations, and Robin, thank you very much. Motor Loon, thank you very much. Dave Deb, thank you very much. Thank you. We've been together for over 10 years, and yeah, we're best friends. So it was about time that we made it official, I suppose. Robin says, tell me about it. Had a tattoo studio 2007, 2012. Yeah, if you've ever owned a small business or been self-employed, you will know the feeling of working from 8 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and you just never seem to be able to turn that switch off in your mind that's constantly thinking about tomorrow's work and tomorrow's load, etc. So it definitely needed to happen. We needed some time away. Jamie says, the Dyna 3000 does not need any other mods to the bike. So there's your answer. Conto, no, have not yet. Will love faster throttle response with 3000 unit. It really makes a big difference. Okay, cool. Conte says, if you say mods, yeah, K&N filter and Cobra dual exhaust. That's what that is. I've got the Cobra 2-inch drag pipe system. I've got pod filters, they're not installed yet. And the baffles, I've done something to the baffles. I've mentioned before that I was working on the exhausts. I will do a video on that, and I will have them available for you guys to purchase should you so choose. And that is custom made lollipop exhaust baffles. The sound out of these exhaust pipes now is absolutely incredible, and the back pressure is perfect. The power that is in this bike now, and I'm not saying it's just because of the baffles. Obviously, new piston rings helps after 20,000 miles of the bike's age. New piston rings, new clutch springs, etc. There's a lot of things going on. Full top engine rebuild, really high compression, etc. Lots of little things now have been done to the bike, or big things, that have given it some extra power and low end torque, and that's only going to continue to go up, especially with the pods and jet system. But the baffles, the lollipops, wow, what a difference. The sound is absolutely incredible. A good friend of mine makes them. Well, he's made them for me. He's never made them before. And they work. They're absolutely incredible. So simple. And yeah, I will do an audio video for you using some high quality microphones so that we can really hear the difference between the standard baffles that come in these Cobra pipes to the lollipops. So yeah. Let's see what else we've got going on in the chat section here. We've got over 13 people watching at the moment. Good evening, everybody. If you haven't commented yet, leave a little comment. Tell us where you're tuning in from this evening. Disco says, oh, he's talking to Conto. Conto is talking to Disco. Let's see if there's anything there. Motor says, I was looking in at the Sigma 6 site yesterday, considering it. You really should. And one thing that's not abundantly clear on the Sigma 6 website is that you only need to buy one kit for the bike. So when you're buying the product, it comes with both sets of jets for both carbs. So that's on their FAQ section as well, if you wanted to double check that. But I was sort of apprehensive a few months ago. I was like, really? 100 and something pounds for 2 carbs jet kits? And then when I read into it, it clearly states in the FAQ that you only need to buy one product and it will have all the jets in it. I think it's a 50-60 pounds, something like that. It will inevitably be a little bit more expensive for me because I'll have to pay import tax and VAT when it arrives in the UK, because that's how our system here works, unfortunately. So yeah, it's exciting though. I'm looking forward to working with the jet kit and seeing what difference they actually make. Would be interesting to know, especially with the pods that I've got, the DNA pod filters. Let's see if anyone else. Motor says free flow pipes, or you got some dampener in there. Lollipops is what I've got. If you don't know what a lollipop is, lollipop baffle, just chuck that into Google. Conto, small Cobra slash cut pipes. That's what I got, the 2-inch. I think they're 2-inch. They might be bigger than that. They've got to be bigger than that. I don't know. I'd have to measure them. Willow says, I've watched around 10 dogs non-stop for 4 years. Getting bike and getting it up and running is my way of dealing with it. Okay. Disco, probably going to fit some shortened baffles into the pipes, but I want to keep the straight through look from the outside. Yeah. Willow's, last Monday Zoe lost her battle with cancer. Friday Moose, another of the rescues, lost his battle. That's really sad to hear, Willow. Really sad to hear. Tabitha, you think that my bike backfired one time after turn off, but only one time. Backfire is typically one of two things: too much fuel or not enough. If you've got too much air, you'll get backfire. If you've got too, and this is layman's terms, there's obviously a little bit more to it. If you've got too much fuel, too much air, you will get a backfire. Something, or if maybe you've got an air leak of some sort that's going to be bringing in too much air through the carbs, you could end up with backfire. Dave Deb says, using your videos to open my engine and replace a tensioner, I hope, on my cam chain, but is there an easy way to make sure the chain is still good? Yeah, but unfortunately it's not easy. It's all down to length. If there's been any sort of stretch in the chain, you would need to replace it. I didn't replace mine. Mine has got 18,000 miles on it. I probably will do the cam chains maybe at 30,000 miles, maybe 35, because I'm a stickler. Most people would never ever change their cam chains. If the bike doesn't ever call for a new cam chain, most people would never do it. But it's all to do with length, so you would need to remove the cam chain in its entirety and measure it against the specs in the workshop manual. Not for the light-hearted though. I didn't go that far, because it means messing a little bit with the bottom end, you know, clutch side, crankcase side, and removing the generator, the actual magnet and stuff. And it's just, you start getting real messy, and that's the kind of thing where I probably would I. Yeah, I think I might. I don't know. I've never had to think about it. I might take the bike to be professionally done should I need to replace the cam chain. But again, I didn't go that far, so, and I haven't looked that far into it at the moment. So, but how many miles have you got? How many miles have you got on the bike? If you've got 80,000 miles on the bike and you don't know if the cam chain's ever been done, yeah, I'd probably recommend you do the cam sprockets at the very least, and the cam chains as well. Robin Futureless, I've rebuilt the whole bike, as you know, and the problem with nothing happening when I tried to start it turned out was the starter button. Yeah, it's the simple things that are often the things that that will catch you out. I had a friend who had a similar problem to you, Robin, and he could not for the life of him get his bike running. He tried everything, and after about 3 weeks he realized that his kill switch button was permanently closed. Even though it was open on the inside, it was permanently open. It wouldn't close and to make contact so that it would allow it to start. And yeah, 3 weeks of umming and ahhing, changing electrics, wiring, checking grounds, earths, etc, and it turned out to be a switch. This is why I always say, start with the simple stuff and work from the simple stuff. If you start with the heavy stuff and you realize it's going to be something easy. I apologize that I keep having to rub my face down, but it is so hot in here. If I don't do that, I think I'm going to melt. So apologies. Where have we got to now? Robin says, after riding it around 100 kilometers with no bike experience, I can say everything's working, but put a cone filter, I'm assuming that is, cone filter back and kept the original front, new pipes with DB killers and somewhat helps it. Fantastic. Motorloon, Robin, funny how it's often the simplest things. Exactly. Robin, keeping the airflow out low, but probably needs to get a cone in the front too, and later fix the jets, definitely. Dave Deb says about 30,000 miles, but it's a second hand and you never know what crazies before you did to the bike. That's true. I mean, one thing I can tell you is that the cam chain on this bike, from feeling around with it and against other cam chains, it's definitely no slouch. It's quite a heavy duty cam chain, but like I said, it all comes down to slack. It all comes down to chain stretch, and the only way to know if that chain is stretched is to remove it from the engine. there is a dimple somewhere. There's some sort of mark somewhere on the cam chain that you have to align if you're timing the engine properly. That you'd have to align again once you've removed it. You'd have to put it back in and make sure that that dimple, that marking, etc. I believe it's at the bottom sprocket. You need to make sure that it's lined up with a certain mark down at the bottom. So just take note of that if you do go that far. But if I know it might seem a little bit counterproductive, and some of you even said to me, "Am I going to be changing the cam chain?" And I said no, and it's because the bike, I know the bike worked fine and was pulling fine before I dismantled the engine. And if you're in a similar situation, if you know that your bike runs and pulls like a train, then don't go changing things that don't need to be changed, like the cams, cam chains, cam sprockets, etc., etc. And if it does turn out that you need to get it done, then you just got that decision to make, whether or not to take it to a pro or take the bike off the road for potentially an unknown amount of time while you mess with the bottom end of the engine and replace what you need to replace. More to you though, if you can do it and video it and put it online so we can all see how to do it. Rodrigo says, my headache was the clutch switch. Oh yeah, that will get you as well. So it's weird, mine, before I tore mine down, I did not need to pull the clutch in. It's weird, right? And now I have to pull the clutch in. So something got fixed along the way. I'm not sure which cable did it, but something definitely wasn't working before I tore the engine down, or the electrics anyway. Rebuilt it, and now I have to use the clutch. So something somewhere was disconnected. Jamie says, drink some tea. Tea? No. Guinness tonight. It's colder. Ugh. Willow says, if I can get help, I am taking mine to shop for carbs. Something is stuck and still leaks. Likely to be your float bowl pin. Your float is probably sticking and allowing the carb to overflow. That's probably what it is. There you go. Jamie said the same thing. Willow's, that is the carb floats and needles. Willow says, as for the problem I was having, today marks 3 weeks. Can't wear a mask and no one will treat me without. Oh, I'm trying to, is that, I mean, what state are you in, Willows? Just out of interest, because I know some places are being a lot stricter than others. Motorloon, I do need to go and diagnose my bike. Too much fuel on rear cylinder, according to the plugs. Backfires and really hard to keep idle when cold. Hopefully it's just a matter of some adjustments. Again, yeah, backfiring, ladies and gents, is typically caused by too much fuel or too much air, one of the two. You might have backfiring as well if your engine's out of time and stuff like that, but I wouldn't worry about that if you've not torn your bike down before or had the heads rebuilt or anything like that. If it's backfiring, it's likely to be a fuel mixture problem or an air leak problem. So check the boots of the carbs, from the airbox to the carbs, and then the carbs, the manifolds, carbs to the cylinders. Check them. The ones attached to the cylinders themselves, the actual V-twin, they should be rock solid, but they often crack and they get hairline fractures because they're rigid. The other boots should be soft and squishy. If you look at the carb video, or one of the 2 carb videos on the channel, you'll see an explanation on those squishy boots. Inspect them. If there's any splits or hairline cracks or anything like that, you will be sucking in too much air, and that could well be the problem. Again, it's all finding that balance between fuel and air and spark, because if your spark isn't burning fuel efficiently, chances are that by the time it gets to the exhaust, and the exhaust is then red hot because you've been running the engine for 10-15 minutes, the fuel is actually going to start to combust in the exhaust. So that's another thing. Maybe your spark plugs or your coils aren't as efficient as they should be. Maybe there's something electrical going on. So there's lots of different scenarios that would cause backfiring and popping. Right, let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Dave Webb says, thanks for the advice. I'll see when I get the chain. Not going to film my amateuristic fumbling around though. It did pull like a train, so I probably won't touch the chain. Best way, my friend. Unless there's an issue with it, don't fix it. It's just not worth it. Unless it's cosmetic and you want to make it look different, then fine, put something new on. But anything, in particular with engines, if it's not broken, don't fix it. If it's good practice, though, that's where I would draw the line. For example, I could remove the clutch casing right now, and the gasket would likely be 100% absolutely fine and be completely efficient and would have no problems. But I will always change gaskets, no matter how old or how new they are. So, kind of read between the lines with it. Simple things like gaskets that are inexpensive, change them when you can, every time, especially if you've been running the bike, etc., etc. Motor says, bike runs really fine otherwise once engine is warm, maybe occasionally backfiring when releasing throttle after acceleration. Yeah, that's a kind of a common thing with the VS. A lot of people complain about when they let off the throttle and the revs come down, and it drops down with bangs and backfires. Again, it's air, it's an older engine, it's not going to be anywhere near as efficient as newer engines. It's known though, so don't freak out about it. As long as it's not over the top and it's not drastic, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. In fact, when I do a moto vlog, I'll show you what mine does, and that should hopefully give you somewhere to work from. If yours is sounding very similar to mine, then I would say don't worry about it. If it's really bad, like bang, 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 as you're coming off the throttle, something needs to be looked at, definitely. Tabitha, how are you, my friend? She says, I need help. My Intruder now is riding awesome, but my other bike, after the big rainstorm, keeps stalling, like have no gas, and starts very good after 4 minutes, starts stalling, die again. Sounds like either a fuel air mixture problem, like it's not getting enough fuel to the carbs, or your choke's not working. Could be a number of things. I would recommend, Tabitha, that you go to my channel and look for the video that says why won't it start on the thumbnail. Watch that video, and once you've watched that one, search on my channel for the Carbs 101 video and have a look at those videos. They will give you a really good starting point from the sort of the standard steps to diagnosing the problem of a motorcycle not running. Be a good place to start. There's definitely more options to look into and reasons as to why your bike might not be working properly, but those videos will definitely give you a helping hand. I apologise, ladies and gents, if I start missing some comments. There's loads of them coming in, which is fantastic. Motorloon said, oh, he's talking to Jamie, my apologies. Where are we? Motorloon. Don't really mind the backfires, actually sounds pretty hardcore. But yeah, if it's because something isn't set up right, it bothers me. Yeah, me too. Maybe what you need to do is, if you can, obviously you might not be able to do it while the bike's stationary, but if you can get the symptoms to show themselves safely while you've got some form of audio or video recording device available to you, send me a video on Facebook and I'll see if I can figure it out. No promises, but I will give it a look. Motorloon, the bike doing port idle when cold and often stalling. That's absolutely a pain though. Yeah, it is. It is a pain. After dropping exhaust on mine, I noticed no gaskets at all. Is this a normal thing? You should definitely have exhaust gaskets. Definitely, 100%. Otherwise you'll get exhaust leaks and lower back pressure, because there's more places for that back pressure to escape rather than hitting back into the cylinder. So, or the cylinder having more force to push against to create that back pressure. So if you do not have gaskets on your exhausts, you really do need to put gaskets on those exhausts. I haven't got any here, I don't think, to show you. I've just got carnage going on at the moment. It's just a ring of paper and a little bit of aluminium. Definitely definitely worth doing. Jamie says, Willows, yes, most of the time somebody will mess with the exhaust gasket and never put back in. Yeah, it's not a good practice though, ladies and gents. Really, it's not. In fact, you could end up creating low compression symptoms from such a thing. So whilst you're riding, it could feel like it's dropping in power compared to that if it had all of its gaskets. The gaskets are there for a reason, to stop air leakage. Motoloon says, sure, Hagar, I'm sure I can fiddle a video together for you. Fantastic. Send it over to me, man, and we'll have a look. Jamie says, Tabitha, check that the rain did not mess up the fuel pump. Water tends to destroy them. Absolutely right. Oh, you guys are absolutely awesome. There's so many of you in here tonight. Again, thank you for sticking around. I wasn't expecting such a humble welcome. I know I've been away for some time. I would show you around the workshop, but you're attached to wires and cables and things. What I might do next week, because we're back now, so next Sunday we'll do another one. I might set you up on a selfie stick thing on my phone, because I can live stream from my phone, and then I can show you the new workspace. Or better yet, how about I just make sure there's a video going up on Wednesday of this week within the new workshop space, and you guys can all have a really good look around and see what's going on. As you can see, the Intruder is up on the bench at the moment. We need to do a carb sync video. One thing that we could very quickly touch on, if I can get my pokey stick out and bring these down here. People have been asking what carb tool I'm going to be using to do the carb sync, and I am borrowing, this is not mine, I'm borrowing this from my to-be father-in-law, is a Carb Tune Pro kit. And the reason I'm going to be using this one is father-in-law had it, so I didn't have to buy one. But I've heard incredibly good things about this particular Carb Tune device. This is what it looks like. It's one of these. So this is what I'm going to be using in the video, but I'm also going to be showing you how you can make one yourself. I'm going to do a comparison video. I'm going to, for you guys, just for you, I'm going to sync the carbs with this, show you the results, and then I'm going to unsync the carbs and sync them again with a DIY tool. That's a lot of messing around with the syncing of the carbs, so I hope you appreciate it. But I will be showing you the pros and cons of both, and I'll be doing a comparison whether or not I would recommend that you just go out and buy the professional tool, or whether building your own one at home really is as effective as people claim that it could be. So that will happen. The Carb Tune video will be out this week. It has to be, because the bike is now rideable, so I need to be able to make sure that the carbs are tuned up pretty well. I have taken it for a little spin, and it's definitely not in sync, but it definitely could be worse. It could be really, really, really bad, but it doesn't actually sound bad at all. It's got a little bit of what I call lag, response, etc. And you can occasionally, not all the time, but you can occasionally hear the out of time, the noise of the exhaust and the carbs and stuff. You can hear that it's not quite there together. So they definitely need syncing, and I most certainly will do that. I know I've been saying it for a while, and then my month off happened. Robin says, you need AC. I definitely need AC. It's running off me. You know what I need? I need guttering. It's mad how hot it is at the moment. No amounts of opening doors and windows. We've got fans here in the unit, and they just don't seem to circulate air. It just seems to circulate warm air. It's absolutely mad. Today, I went out for a ride today with my group. We rode about an hour and a half down the road, and we got to the place that we were going, and the sun was so high and there was no shade whatsoever. And we found about 4 of us at one point all lined up against the wall of this restaurant cafe place, because there was this 6-inch strip of shade where the sun was just catching the edge of the top of the building. We're all stood there trying to keep cool. Not good to be stood or sat in this kind of weather. It's mad how hot it is. We're supposed to have incredibly strong thunderstorms now for the next 3 days. This is typical. whenever it gets really hot in the UK, it is always immediately followed with huge thunderstorms, and we're pretty famous for our storms here in the UK. You know, we've had storms, I mean, not nearly as good as America, but we do throw a pretty good storm. You know, we can destroy a train track that's been standing for 500 years in a couple of days with a good storm. There's loads of stuff that happens here, but it always seems to follow 3 to 4 days of high pressure and hot sunshine. But it's not even that nice sunshine. It's not even nice hot, because it's the humidity that's hot. It's not nice. You know, I don't even want to be outside. Whereas, you know, 3 or 4 days ago, it was perfect. Just a nice bit of sun, bit of a breeze, and go down to the beach or something like that, or go for a ride. But this is uncomfortable. This is getting silly. Right, let's have a quick look through the comments again. Let's see. I apologise as well. Some of you caught that I went live at about 6:30 tonight. That's because YouTube's changed things again. They've added more and more features. I know they recently did they've got this new statistics thing now with the live stream. You can see all the stats and all that. I'm not interested in that. You know, they do some pretty cool things. YouTube they're trying to be progressive, and some stuff's good, some stuff is not. You know, the super chat feature, great feature. The share now feature, great feature. You know, the edit live stream after, all that stuff, it's great. And then they just mess with it, and it's like same with Facebook. Everyone keeps changing the platforms. I don't know why. Disco says, "How is the English Riviera today?" Hot. It's very hot. I'm not in the English Riviera. The English Riviera is technically, if you want to call it the English Riviera, we don't call it the Riviera. Everyone else does, but we don't. It's about a 25-30 minute ride from my place, and I imagine it's absolutely chock-a-block with grockles. If you don't know what grockle is a term used by people in Devon to describe tourists, and it's going to be absolutely jam-packed with grockles. So we try and avoid places like the beach and stuff like that during this time of year, which is really sad because we live here and we can't really enjoy where we live during the best time of the year weather-wise. So it's a bit infuriating, because if you do go down to the beach, there won't be any room, and you just get met with insensitive people that don't know the culture down here, and you know the pleases and thank yous that don't come, and simple things. We're very simple people, but we're all very well mannered down here. And yeah, it's hard work. I used to work in the at restaurants and bars. I even worked on a go-kart track. That was kind of where I started getting really into engines and racing or riding or driving or whatever you want to call it. And the go-kart track is situated down on the seafront, right next to the beach. And I worked there for 4 seasons. My God, some of the people, absolutely just, ugh. If you ever worked in hospitality or had a summer job, you know, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really, really hard work. But yeah, the English Riviera is a place called Torbay and Paynton, which is, yeah, like I say, about half hour, 45 minutes from me. But yeah, it will be absolutely rammed. It will be jam-packed, and it's so hot out there. Let's see. Robin says, "See that? Your face got same colour as your beard." It has, isn't it? Almost. Not quite, but almost. The only reason I've got glasses on my head right now is to stop my sweat-infused hair from falling down into my face. That's all it's done for 3 days, is I move my head and it just falls down like this. So no matter how much like spray or gel or whatever it is I put in, it just melts in the heat. It just melts. Willow says, "Last week was 110 degrees or over." 110 degrees, that's probably what, 32, 33 degrees Celsius? Let's have a look. 110 Fahrenheit to Celsius. 43, wow, that is hot. Let's have a quick look. I know that we're not talking intruders right now. I know we're just talking about the weather, which is like the most British thing I could be doing right now. I apologise. It's true. That's all we have to talk about is the weather. See, look, right. It's supposed to be huge. We've had weather warnings, okay, for storms tomorrow, but it's still going to be 25 degrees Celsius. So 25 degrees Celsius. Celsius to Fahrenheit. I reckon that's about 86, 77. So 77 Fahrenheit. That's not too bad. But it's still really hot and humid. It's going to be humid. It won't be sunny. It'll be humid. Right, let's get back to bikes. I digress. I apologise. I've been away for so long. I just want to talk about everything. New toys. Have I got any new toys? Bench. That's a lovely new toy. It's not new. I bought it second hand. And it was made by an independent person. It's made out of 3mm box section steel. It's rock solid, which I really like. I will no longer have to use my benches to sort of jack the bike up onto. I can work on it there. Let's see if I can get you a slightly better view. I don't know if you're going to be able to see much, but let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. So it is a proper one with a jack system, etc. But like I say, it was made by somebody independently, a professional fabricator, not one that you can buy off the shelf. So that's why I wanted something rock solid that's going to last for years, not one that's made by Sealy or one that you can pick up at Walmart. Or I know there's a place in the States that does a lot of stuff like this, and they get a really bad reputation. They've got a really bad reputation for like their scissor lifts and everything, like not working properly. I can't remember the name of that place though. But yeah, so that's the newest toy in here. New bench, which is much higher up. That's why I'm stood up tonight and I'm not sat down like this with my laptop. Is I've got a new bench. Actually, it's not new. You might have seen it in the videos. At the back of the room, there was always this countertop, and I've just moved it and replaced my old bench with this. The old bench is now down there, which is what will be used for extracting the engines from bikes onto. This bench up here will be kept nice and clean for unboxings, live videos, and just sort of sorting things. This is like a laminated surface. It's not designed to be a worktop bench, so I want to try and keep it as nice as possible. And I've got the rough, horrible bench down there. I'm trying to think if there's any new toys that I've got. I have got a few bits. Like I say, the pod filters are here. That was it. Triple tree. No, the triple tree has not been installed yet, and no, the fork covers are not on at the moment. No particular reason other than when the bike finally started for the first time in 9 months, about 2 weeks ago, it was a mad rush. The bike was still in pieces, and it was bike night at my local bike night, which is 5-10 minutes down the road. I haven't been to bike night in so long. The sun was blazing. It was 8 o'clock at night before I started the bike, and it was just a mad day. I just wanted to get the bike back together, torqued, tightened down, and I needed to hear it run, and then I needed to go to bike night for my soul. Not for any other reason other than to know that my bike was still working and that I could get to bike night and back and everything be good. Oh, hang on, Mrs. Hagar's in the chat. She's probably, hang on, too excited about his bench. I was in the flow. They've ruined the flow. See, look, you've been talking about me. Hang on, what she said. Does the Pope shit in the woods? I know it's bare. And yeah. See, she's good. Yes, please. She's good. Hagar needs to build a wall to keep the tourists out. Maybe Mexico will pay for it. I built a wall. Seriously. I'm not joking. Thursday and Friday of this week just gone, myself and my stepdad built this. There's a new wall. You'll see it in the new videos. So yeah, I did build a wall, and actually it's funny you should say someone else would pay for it, because I didn't really pay for it because there was nothing really to pay for. A friend of mine works in construction, was able to get me some lengths of stud work for the carcass, and I did pay for the plasterboard, or drywall as you guys call it. I think in total, with all the doors, the linings and everything, it cost me about 60-70 quid to put the door up, and a day's worth of work. So not very bad at all. Here she comes. fanning herself. It's warm, isn't it? It's so. Thank you. I don't know if people. Yeah, she's good. I don't know if people are going to see what you're doing. Just you stood there next to me. Can you
see your beard flowing? And
let me see. Let me see if people. Yeah, people can see it. This is how good she is to me. Look, and new cold beer. You guys need to get yourself one of these.
I'm not staying for that long.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
You want the bit of paper?
I'll have the fan. Yeah, go on. I'll have the fan. So, right, I lost me flow now. I was talking about me bench and me new toys and stuff, and it's all gone. Yamaha, nothing's been done to the Yamaha yet. Still in pieces, so don't worry about that. Let me try and catch up. Harbour Freight, Rodrigo. Yes, that's the one. Loads of people complain about their stuff, but then some people say they've got good stuff. So, Dave Deb says he seems really excited indeed. I am very excited. This is an expensive purchase. If you're not got loads of money in the bank and you work on bikes, you dream about having one of these benches one day. Finally got one, but I'll stop talking about the bike. It's fine. Yes, you're right, Jamie. Us men do like our tools. We really do. Yeah, we absolutely do, don't we, lads? Definitely need our toys. But but genuinely, I have an L5 S1 slipped herniated disc in my lower back, and like I was saying earlier in the stream, to be laying on my back trying to lift that football. If you've never taken that football plate off of your bike and you are about to, or you're going to in the near future, good luck to you, because it is so freaking heavy. It's unreal, and to be under there on your own trying to lift it into position so that those 8 bolts meet with the bottom of the frame to then hold it in place to get a socket set, bolts, etc. It's best if you build some sort of platform. If you've got another jack around, that will be a big help, or just go and buy a motorcycle bench. That makes things a lot easier, and then just ask a friend to help you. So yeah. Let's see. Tabitha says, Motor, no matter which wall you want built, we're still here getting money from you. But now, let's not start that. Willow says, I'm thinking he missed talking to us. He's babbling. What did I miss, Willow? Oh, you're talking to Mrs. Hager. Yeah, she sorry, there's a delay in the comments and the video, etc. Hagar is really excited to talking with us. I am really excited. It's been ages since I've been speaking to you guys. Like, seriously, I've been thinking about it every day. Well, not every day, but a lot of days. I've missed it. I've missed being in this environment. I've missed being in the workshop and missed being able to just work on the bikes and talk motors and tools and engines. And, I've really missed it. I think it was good though. I needed that time off to kind of learn that I really do appreciate it, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, like we all do. So yeah, I apologise if I'm a bit excited tonight. I've only got a few of these in me, but I know I'm babbling and stuff. It's nice to be back. I promise we'll have more formal stuff next week, unless you're happy with the casual sort of approach to the live stream. That's absolutely fine as well. 7Benny7 says, will there be more videos in your rebuild series? Yes, sir, there will be. We have at least 3 in the rebuild series. One of them is the pods and jets. One of them is the carb sync video. And there is another one, but I'm not telling you what it is. If you have a specific request as to the rebuild and to do another video that I maybe haven't covered yet, please feel free to tell me what it is, and I will let you know right now as to whether or not I can do it for you. Some people are messaging me about the wiring harness and doing an install video on the wiring harness. The reason I haven't done a reinstall of the wiring harness is because the wiring harness on my bike will not be the same as your bike. Mine was messed with by someone who owned the bike before, and it's not stock, to the point where that bike runs and everything. The boost sensor isn't attached to anything. I took this out. When I took all the wiring out, there's no plug that it doesn't even exist on my bike that fits into the boost sensor. So this has been deleted completely now. So it's difficult to do certain install or those kinds of videos if I know that what I'm doing isn't stock, or is the same customizations as your bike. So I had to be a little bit mindful. I don't want to go throwing out information that's completely irrelevant to 90, probably more than that, probably 95% of the people that own this bike. Your wiring loom will not be the same as mine. The one thing I will tell you about a wiring loom though is that if it's majority stock, everything is color coded. The wiring is all color coded. And if you've got joints that need to go places, this color will match this color. And that made things a little bit easier for me. I've taken this wiring harness out and reinstalled it 3 times now, and it's become second nature. It's really not as daunting as you think it might be. Just look for the colors. If someone's put different colors in there though, I apologize. That's exactly the reason why I haven't done a full reinstall video of the wiring harness. It's because a lot of you ain't gonna get any benefit from it. So I apologize. In the future though, I will be showing you how to rewire the bike using a completely separate system, something I mentioned I think the last time we were live. There will be a video on the wiring as a whole, how to change it, how to make it easy to work with, but it's not going to be cheap, and I can't invest any more big money into the bike at this point. So bear with me, we will get to it. Winter is literally only around the corner now. This bike will not be going out nearly as much as it is going to be for the next 2-3 months. And then once November hits and it starts seeing the inside of the workshop a lot more, we will start doing more modifications to the bike. So there will definitely be more Intruder videos. Don't worry about that. Dave Deb says that was nice of her, a beer and some fan action. She's good like that. Willow says 3 messed up discs in upper back, 1 lower, know all about it. It's hard work, isn't it, my friend? It is hard work doing anything. You know, my back is getting really quite sore right now, you know, being 3.5, 4 hours in total today sat on the bike, and you definitely start to feel it as the night goes on and you stop moving around and stuff. Dave Deb, I got myself a sideways lift, something like the giraffe lift you have, but to put a bike on it. Awesome toy, so I know how excited you are. It's silly, I know, but I am excited about it. I can't wait to use it properly. You know what I can't wait is getting the Yamaha on it. I can't wait to start working on the Yamaha. Jamie says we all need time off now and then. When we come back, we're all excited to start again. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Willow says, I like you being yourself. This is you being animated, and it's a good thing in my opinion. Thank you. I do think that you will be seeing a slightly different approach to the videos as well over time. I want to finish the rebuild series in the same manner, but I want to start doing more vlog style videos, not so much, you know, throwaway videos. I don't want to become one of those YouTubers whose only content is you watch it once and it's done. You know, I still want my videos to be informative, but I think a lot more vlog action. You know, I want to be carrying the camera a little bit, a bit more informal, you know, and it's definitely something I've taken note of whilst being away, is look back at some of the videos, and they're good, you know, they're as good as I could do at the time. It's just a little bit not me, so I kind of want to be more me, a little bit more relaxed about it. If you've ever had to record yourself on camera and then watch yourself back in post-production, edit yourself and then upload yourself to the internet, it's a very strange sensation, and what it does to your delivery often can't be controlled. So that's what I love about the live streams, is that I'm not having to worry about seeing myself at all. I'm just talking to you, and that's something I'm going to try and, you know, blend in with the more tutorial or how-to videos, is this kind of approach. Be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more me, and not be quite so formal. Especially with the Yamaha build. I've never worked on a dual overhead cams bike before, so that bike series, rebuilding the Yamaha, that is going to be very much a vlog. Very much, let's see if we can fix this today. Here's the part. I've not had to do this before, but let's give it a go. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Rather than how to do this on a Yamaha XS500, you know. So we'll get to that point. We really will. I plan on growing this channel a lot over the next year, and I think the only way that that's going to happen is if I'm completely transparent and I really fight the urge to be a formal tutor, because I'm not a formal tutor. So I definitely hear what you're saying. I do. Dave Deb says, I agree, Willows. The stream is flowing naturally like this. So you guys know, and I know it. Like I said, it's just when you stand in front of that camera and hit record, something changes. Because there's no one there directly that you're speaking to. You have to, I don't know, it's weird. I'll work on it. I am working on it. Jamie says, oh, we've done that one, my apologies. Willow says, I like you being yourself. Oh no, I've already done that one. Apologies. Motor says, life would have been so much easier if Suzuki hadn't put the carbs in each end of the bike. I guess they figured that out on the 1500 though. Yeah, they definitely did figure that out. That's one of the main reasons for the VL 1500 the reason it exists is that is putting those carbs in the dead center of the V-twin. I mean, you know, this V-twin is one of the very few V-twins out there, big V-twins, that has dual carbs. You know, most Harley Davidsons only have single carb. You know, so it's not very common, especially not anymore. Dual carbs on a V-twin, not common at all. Dave Deb, I got a 1500 too. I got to say it's easier with the carbs. They learned their lesson on lots of things. Good. Motor says, I understand you can actually fit the 1500 heads on the VS1400. I've seen it used in a single carb conversion, but I wonder if you could move the entire dual carb setup over and get it working. Yeah, I think you can. Ryan Ford Palmer, I think, did something that you're mentioning. But yes, you can definitely put the 1500 heads onto the 1400 cylinders, but you will also need the 1500 cams, etc., etc. So if you find yourself getting a set of 1500 heads cheap online, the expensive bit is the 1500 heads. The 1500 cams. That's the bit that you must make sure you have, is the right cams and the right sprockets for the 1500 heads. If you're putting that all onto the 1400 cylinder, make sure you get the cams for the 1500. Willow says, about to sell my guitar stuff and buy another bike. Want a shovel or a Honda 600 to chop up? Nice. I'd love to have a chop Harley. There was one there today where we were, and it was absolutely incredible. Think Shade Tree, but Harley Davidson. So it had the old school chopper back seat, you know, really skinny but really deep sort of back seat with a huge stinger bar on the back, peanut tank, frame exposed, and the exhaust came out at an angle right up past the sissy bar, like the angle of the sissy bar came right up to it was incredible. The craftsmanship on it was awesome, and that's the kind of thing I want to build probably within the next 2 years. Something like that, is start acquiring small parts and little bits and pieces, and then just go ahead and shove, you know, a 1200 engine in there, a dyno of some sort, into the frame. It was incredible. It was beautiful, really it was. Dave says, basically the 1500 engine is just a bored out 1400 engine, effectively, with different cams. You do need different cams. The 1500 has better gears than the 1400. Yes, it does. Heinz, how you doing, my friend? It's been a long time. Good to see you. Dave says, that's true. You got to work a bit harder with the gears on the 1400. Absolutely. Heinz, first time here. Glad I made it. This is a good time. Sunday evening. Cheers. No problem at all. I'm glad. Yeah, we changed it, didn't we? It used to be on a Wednesday night, the live streams. I'm glad you make it. Glad you could make it. Apologies, guys. I'm getting really tired now. And 4 of these. Wait. 2. I think I'm on my 2nd or 3rd. I don't know. Heat, lack of water, alcohol, and it's getting late. I've been up since 7 this morning. Was on the road by 8:30. It was a really good day of riding. Really enjoyed it. Next time, I promise, I'll take I'll take you along with me. I'll start doing the moto vlogs. I can't wait to start doing the moto vlogs properly for you guys. But before I can do the moto vlogs, I need to show you how I set up my helmet. That's something that some of you said a couple of weeks ago when we were doing a live stream that you wanted to see. You wanted to see how I did a whole moto vlog helmet setup with the microphones, etc., the GoPro and all that. So I am going to do that. The microphone that you see me recording my normal videos with is actually taken out of my helmet, so that's why I have to do that setup video for you, because I need to reset that up in order to do motor vlogs. But I will be doing that for you. Dave says welcome. Willow says welcome Heinz, and it is welcome Heinz, welcome, glad you could make it, my friend. Duck, how do we stop genocidal armies of something towards the peaceful countries in Armenia? I don't know, my friend. What do you suggest? I'm pretty sure you're in the wrong video chat though. Pretty sure. Dave Deb, yeah. Chris Homan, need to set up a show and shine episode. Want to see everyone's bikes. It would be pretty cool, man. It would be pretty cool. Jamie says, Chris, just let me fix my wheels and we can do that. Heinz says, cheers, thanks mate. Hansen, hello, anybody know if VS1400 Intruder 2004 comes with different front brake disc? My front wheels do not fit in the fender, but the brakes work fine. Okay, so if you've got, you might have the 21 inch on there as opposed to the 19 inch. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If your front wheel does not fit in the fender, but the brakes work fine, I'd say that the wheel rim is too big and you need a 19 inch as opposed to a 21 inch. Eli, how's it going, my friend? Says, tuning in from Northern Illinois in the US. Glad to have caught your live feed. I'm glad you could make it, sir. Very nice to have you here. Willow says, mine is on my channel. It's cosmetically challenged at the moment. What it looks like isn't important. It's whether or not it can smoke another vehicle off the line, how it handles on corners, and are you happy with it? That's all that matters. Cosmetically challenged is pretty good way of putting it, Willow, not going to lie. Jamie says, Hansen, all the VS1400s are the same wheels and rotors, but that doesn't mean that he's got a stock version and somebody could have made a modification to it, ergo a 21 inch rim as opposed to the stock 19 inch rim. Bin bag, hello. Am I America? No, I am human. Rodrigo says, your tyre is oversized. Oh yeah, that could be the other option, is that you've got too big a tyre. The tyre on the front should be, hang on, I'll find out for you. Oh, you can find the numbers. Apparently I cannot. Should be a 110 over 90. Have you heard that? So the front tyre should be a 110 over 90. I've got Metzler's. Metzler's are a great sticky brand of tyre. So if you're ever stuck for which brand to go with, Metzler, Avons, any of those, absolutely. Bimbag says, how many miles America have and where are America missile? Okay, I think we're getting spam tonight. It's alright, because here on YouTube, on live stream, I can put people in timeout. So I apologise, but some of these folks are going into time out for 300 seconds. There's another one up there as well, something about America. Hang on a minute. How do we stop genocidal armies? Sorry, Duck, but this is not the place for that kind of chat, my friend. Cool. So they are off to one side, ladies and gents, and if they continue to comment like that, I'll just ban them. It's not a problem. Jamie says, if a 21-inch or 19-inch wheel, no matter what matters is the width of the tire you put on the wheel. Ah, of course. Yes, thank you, Jamie. Like I said, I apologise. Oh wait, but if you're trying to put a standard 190, 110 over 90, yeah, no, I'm going to leave that. That's way too much thinking for me to be doing right now. He says, mine is stock. I'm Danish and it's hard for me to write in English. Sorry, and I just got my Intruder. Don't apologise, my friend. Don't apologise. Best thing you can do is to either send myself an email, send myself a message on Facebook, or even better is ask these guys but with videos and photos. And the way you can do that is to go over to the Suzuki Intruder 1400 Facebook group. There is a link, I believe, in the description of this video. Go over and join, and then put your videos and photos and stuff like that up on that forum and ask people for their opinions on how to fix things. The group is a fantastic group. Loads of people will give you a hand. Pretty much every person here is a member on that group. We've got 22 people at the moment watching the live stream. I'm pretty sure they're all members. If you're not, I really highly recommend that you do go over and check it out. This community is a whole lot bigger than just me, ladies and gents, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. Heinz says, hey Hagar, your driver's seat looks pimped. Did you have it changed? The back seems higher. I have no idea. Are we on about the pillion backrest? Or, I'll tell you what. We had this discussion, myself and another person on the chat, about a week ago. No, I think it was longer than that, 2-3 weeks ago. I have no idea what brand the seat is. It's definitely not stock. This one over here. And you can see how it swoops up like so. This is a 2-piece. It looks like a 1-piece from your angle, but it's not. This is an individual pad. And then the sissy bar is actually triangular. It's not square. It's not a stock one. Excuse me. I have no idea what this brand of seat is. I've tried to find what brand it is. Nope, I have no idea. Some people have said that maybe it's an early Saddleman. Other people have said that maybe it was an original Corbin, a first generation sort of thing back in the early or late 90s when they first started production. I thought for a while maybe it had been custom made, and the only reason that it kind of threw me off why I don't think it was made by hand by an individual is because the pan itself underneath is completely contoured and has all of the right spaces, and it even has screws built into it for the CDI box. So it's been machined. It's been manufactured for this bike. I don't think somebody did this by hand. The pan is far too precise for it to have been done by hand, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but I really don't think. If I can ever find it, I will let you know. Let's see what else is going on here. Roy says, hiding Biden, the people person, lol, lol, is this okay? I named my God 3 miles, now I walk 3 miles twice a day. Hope you smiled. Roy, not sure what you're referring to there, brother. It is comfortable. It does need reupholstering, and the foam could do with replacing. I'm pretty sure that foam is 15 to 20 years old, and after about half an hour it's like you're sitting on concrete. The foam has no give anymore, it's just rock solid. So I do need to get gel pads put in there or have it completely redone, new foam, new leather, but it is comfortable. It is comfortable. Jamie says, hey guy, yes, your bike has a kit on the back. I think it's from France. Really? Jamie, if you can find a link for that, can you send it to me on Facebook? Because I'd really like to know where the sissy bar and stuff comes from. It's definitely different to the stock one. It's got spacers on the pillion armrests and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to know where it's come from. We're getting attracted with a lot of spam tonight, so we're just gonna put these people in timeout. Not sure why all of a sudden we're getting this spam, but hey, never mind. Okay, he's in timeout. Rodrigo, Are there any markings? No. Honestly, I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. There's nothing. Robin says, if you need stuff for your bike, there is a guy in Denmark that probably have stuff lying around in his garage for you. Check Facebook for Geronimo Husa. Mrs. Hagar, it is comfy. Mrs. Hagar does often go pillion. She does often come out with me, which is lovely. Mustang, yeah, it could well be a Mustang seat as well, Rodrigo. If when I rip the leather off of it, I will look again for, I'll look under the actual leather and under the foam for any markings, and if I do find them, I will let you know. Eli says, if we're throwing out random questions, I have a quick one. I'm considering upgrading my front brake with the Winters adapter. Any option for rear brake as well, or leave it alone? There is a rear brake option out there. I believe it's made in Germany, but I do know that Ryan is working on one himself. Now, something about the front brake, something that was not included in the 3-minute video that I put out about the Winters adapter. This Brembo that's going on, you will need some form of adapter to attach a banjo to this type of 6-pot brake caliper, okay? Now, I put a new HEL, that's a brand here in the UK, HEL hydraulic brake line on the front, specifically designed for the VS1400. Now, I went and found a banjo fitting that had the correct thread and nipple for that specific HEL line. So you will need an adapter because you can't use the VS1400 system because it's like a nut and a bolt and stuff. It's just weird. To go into this brake, you do need to grab yourself some sort of adapter, or better still, get yourself a standard hydraulic banjo fitted brake line to replace the existing one with, if you are going to be using a Takiko 6-pot or a Brembo, etc. And it will probably serve you well to get a steel braided one. It's a lot stronger, and that's what we want with this brake anyway. So something to bear in mind, if you're planning on putting the 6-pot on with the stock line, it won't happen unless you've got an adapter. You need that 10mm banjo, okay? Something to note. Who else have we got going on here? So I hope that helps, Eli. Sorry. Dave says, don't think it's a Mustang. Don't think Mustang has a higher back cushion. It's strange, isn't it? It's weird. I mean, it's definitely old. It's been on there for some time. The leather really does need sorting. I don't know if this will help. Before now, the sides where the seat comes down and curves, it had wings, like cowboy wings, you know, leather tassels, not tassels, but like cut out wings down the side that I cut off, and across the top it had studs, and I took those studs out. The reason I took them out is because every time I removed the seat and flipped it upside down to get at the box or the ECU, those studs would scratch up the fender's paintwork. So I just got so frustrated with them, I just ripped them out, and then I cut the wings, that's what we call them, the wings on the side of the seat. It was horrible, totally not me. I cut them off because it just looked terrible, knowing that I would have to reupholster anyway in a year or two. So if anyone does know anything about seats, and if that's like a trait of a particular brand or company, throw it in the comment section, let me know. Jamie says, Eli is not an option for rear rotor yet. There is an option though, Jamie. There is. There's a guy in Germany that sells a black adapter for the rear disc. It does exist. But I don't know his name. I don't know his website. But what I do know is that Ryan Winters is also working on a rear one as well, due to popular demand. So hopefully that will come out sooner rather than later. Ian Bruce says, you have a custom front brake you used, an adapter. Anyone know of where to get one in North America? Ryan Winters, Winters Machining. Definitely, wintersmachining.com. And if you use Hagar Moto in the voucher section, and this is for any products on his website, you will get 10% off. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure he's still running it. But if I do wintersmachining.com, Apparently I've not spelt it right. wintersmachining.com. There we go. I'll chuck a link in the description for you. I'm always happy to promote Ryan. He always shows a lot of support, and he creates great products. So let me just get rid of that. Where are we here? There we go. Okay, there's a link coming into the comment section, folks. If anyone needs clutch springs, front brake adapters, etc., these are all custom made by hand by Ryan in the States. So use Hagar Moto. Is Hagar Moto 10? Is it Motor? You will get 10% off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that sounds right. It's been a while since I've checked it. Let me just throw that in there. But yeah, like I said, Winters Machining, he's very popular. He creates great products. You know, he doesn't pay me to say any of these things, but he does occasionally donate bits and pieces to the channel. So I do like to try and do my bit and give back to him where I can. Hagar Moto 10. Yes, so it's Hagar Moto 10 on wintersmachining.com. You will get 10% off, and that's across his entire stock, his entire shop. So I think we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gents. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, and although I am cooling down a little bit, I am now starting to get ready for dinner, because it's 8:45 here in the UK, and I've not eaten anything yet. Let's have a quick look at these last few comments. Heinz says, just made mine redone with gel cushions and custom sissy bar. Former blacksmith. Will send you pics on Facebook. Please do, Heinz. Absolutely. And if you're able to help a brother out with leather work and stuff like that, I'd be absolutely more than happy to pay for your services if you're able to do leather work and whatnot. Willow says, Ian, Ryan Winters has them in America. Winters Machining. That's the one. Rodrigo says, Fringe. Sort of. It wasn't like loose stuff. It was like a hard. It just reminded me of cowboys. It was, I don't know, it just wasn't me at all. So it had to come off. Ian says, I have a Mustang saddle. It uses the stock backrest. It has the wings but no studs, and it is branded on the saddle stamp with Mustang. Yeah, mine's definitely not branded. Motor Loon says it should still work. I ordered earlier this week using the discount code. Fantastic. Yes, so and I've just checked it. It definitely still works. That Hagar Moto 10. Ian says, thanks. We'll look that up. Love the bike. Hate the brakes. We all agree with you. In fact, on the ride today, I realized how somehow my rear brake on this bike is now performing better than my front brake. Something that I'm not comfortable with. I prefer to have a really strong front brake. These have got brand new pads in. The lines have been bled perfectly. They're rock solid. Like, it's a really good feeling brake. But the actual performance of the pads, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Robin says, Hagar, where did you buy your black cables for the front brake and clutch? Forgot to ask. HEL is the company. If you go to wemoto.com, they're not affiliated. I won't get any kickback, but this is the only place offhand that I can give you. WEMOTO, as in worldsendmoto.com. Wemoto. If you type in VS1400, search for your bike, and then go to, clutch system, brake system, etc., and look for HEL. That's the system that I've got on mine. It's not cheap. Each cable cost me about £35–45, but these will now last forever. And the ones that I had before were 25 years old. Those big, thick, horrible, soft, rubbery lines that just weren't performing well at all anymore. The only cable I've got left to get is a HEL Speedo cable for this Speedo. That's the only thing left to get. But all the hydraulics, everything, it's all brand new black HEL. Heinz says also cool caps he has got. Thank you. Cool caps. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Heinz. Apologies, my friend. Eli says, terrific information. Thank you very much. I will tune in again next week. No problem, sir. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Sabbatha, okay, man. Nice chat with you. Love this chat. Good chat, etc., etc. Absolutely. Motorloon says, on the VS, you really need to use both brakes. You really do. And Jamie says, see you later, bro. We'll presume my wheels will show me them when they've arrived, mate, and send me some videos and close-up photos and stuff. I'm sure everybody would really appreciate to see those hubs. We've all been waiting to see them on the bike and you riding on it. That's something that we all need to see. Dave says, thank you for the awesome stream, dude. Thanks for the info. Make sure to catch your next stream next Sunday, ladies and gents, 7 p.m. British time. That is GMT. We're currently on GMT +1. So wherever you are right now, look at the time. It is now, let's say it's 9 o'clock right now. It's not. It's more like 8:45. But 2 hours ago, we'll do 7 o'clock. No, we might do 7:30. Anyway, I'll be here. I'll be here between 7 and 7:30 next week. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. I will see you soon. I can't see any of the questions coming through right now, so we're going to close it off for the day. I'm going to go eat some food, and then I'm going to go to sleep. And hopefully, you guys will have a video uploaded for you on Wednesday. Okay? Take care of yourselves, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you soon. All the best.